What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another highly combustible reaction. We're jumping into something awesome. You guys might have seen it, you may not have seen it. Let me give a preface up front saying that this video will by no means in any way make us go down the whole pimple popping journey. No, there's some people that look at this as disgusting. I look at it almost as a form of art. I think it was a couple months ago when the very first Hoof rolled across my Facebook page, and I was like, what the hell is this? And it's things that you don't normally think about that animals go through. And you can oftentimes, when something gets released, when a pressure gets released, when something is taken care of, you can almost hear the sigh of relief in the animal. I love just the release that it gives them. If you've never had an infection where everything was just swollen and the doctors had to go in and release some of the tension, you won't know the pain. It's definitely a horrible thing. I'm glad that there are people out there like Hoof GP to take care of this. Let me say up front also as well, before anybody starts hating, no, I've already reached out to the Hoof GP and asked if we could react to the videos up front. He said, go ahead and let it rip. So here we are. Definitely not doing anything without permission. So let's jump in. Let's check this one out. An absolutely enormous bull and a very stuck stone. Imagine it walking around with most of us can't even stand a rock in our shoe. Can you imagine a rock stuck in your foot that you can't get rid of by yourself? You need someone's assistance.
In this episode, we deal with this dangerous situation, attempt to
go show the Hoof GP all the love in the world. By the way, I just subscribed this morning. It's already unsubscribed again. What? We just resubscribed yet again. Let's go.
Get this huge bull into our crush and try to dislodge this stubborn stone before helping a cow who can't even bring herself
Some of it
to
looks
touch
so
the ground.
painful.
This is the Hoof GP.
Welcome to the Hoof GP. We are one herd, one family.
Good morning. We've got a busy day today. We are trimming around 60 cows. We're not exactly sure. They could be 40, they could be 60, they could be 70.
That's a lot. How many? 70 with a 0 at the end? That's a lot of toenail trimming.
But the point is, we are routine trimming around 60 Montbéliard cattle, the big orange ones that are really strong and feisty. Then after that, we need to nip to my next door neighbour, who has two huge bulls in serious need of our services. Let's hope it goes well. These cups are still available at hoofgp.com, by the way.
I like that little shout out. Definitely go check out the Hoof GP community and see if it's a community for you. I know a lot of people are going to find this very interesting. There's going to be a lot of questions if you've never seen this done before. Not everything brings pain, like a giant toenail on the bottom of the foot sometimes. They know what they're doing. They're not causing pain.
When we arrive on farm, there are a lot of cows waiting on our services, so it's not long before we just crack on and get into trimming these beautiful cows' feet and making them as comfortable as we possibly can.
And that's what it's about right there. They got a heart for the animals.
Although we're getting on really well, it's not long before this well thought out and well practiced routine is rudely interrupted.
Sometimes it doesn't go too well.
I saw the leg stuck at the beginning of the video. That doesn't seem like a good place to be stuck. Seems like you might very well break a leg if you start jumping around too much.
He's supposed to be in this pen here.
This is a precarious situation. The bull is incredibly heavy and those bars are not going to bend. If he falls over completely, he can easily snap a leg.
No, calm down. Slow down, breathe.
This way. That makes sense. He was literally standing in this pen by himself, near nobody, with no reason to jump out. Turn around and that's happened.
Kevin's away looking for a longer bar so that we can pry his leg out from between those two bars. But I'm worried, and time is of the essence. I need to try something as quickly as I possibly can. This may be completely and utterly pointless, but I feel like I'm standing doing nothing anyway, so I might as well try this. I only pray he doesn't kick me in the face as I'm trying to get the rope around his leg.
You're putting yourself in some serious danger to help an animal out at this point. Getting that close to those back legs.
Pulled down and hard, but it's not working. Time for another angle and another approach.
Very swift, smart thinking.
And that's how you do that. Just need to get that rope off him.
It was a precarious situation, but now you gotta figure out how to get the rope
So
back.
everybody can easily snap their leg by doing that. Try putting that wee pen now. What do you think?
Go on, boy. Go on. Go on. Go on.
Hopefully that rope will fall off in the next few minutes. It's getting looser and looser all the time. He's not lame, is he? Try to decide if we should try and get him in the crush or not, because obviously he's wound up now and he's had his legs stuck in there. We don't want to hurt him anymore. If he's not lame, might be slightly lame on his front left foot. He's kicking that rope off, look. Silly big
For a big animal that was a mighty dainty, let me get this rope off my foot.
boy. At least the rope's off, we don't need to worry about that. Right.
Why are we not trimming them then?
Because we don't want to risk him anymore.
Yeah, he's got a slightly sore front foot, but we don't want to risk hurting his back leg or back foot anymore. We think it's more important to let him go, and we'll get him in 2 weeks' time instead. Anyway.
On with one of the most important jobs of the day. Coffee time.
Yeah, that's the most important time of my day as well.
Yep. Right.
Back to work.
But sun and rain and trust in letting go. It takes a bit of suffering.
I'm telling you, a clean hoof is such a satisfying thing to look at.
Sleepless nights and wandering before you make it safely to the end. The end.
Nope, it's your turn.
Luckily for our sanity, the rest of the morning goes pretty much perfectly. We can get on to our second job.
And just like that, we are finished with a little bit more commotion than I was hoping for, to be honest. We trimmed about 67 cows there, and now we're on our way to trim these big bulls, and I'm hoping, I've got my fingers crossed, that things go a little more smoothly.
I'm gonna say they probably didn't.
I really hope they do. And just like that, we are here. The farmer is away to get the two bulls in, so we're going to try
60 something. That, I mean, it's still daytime outside.
and get the crush set up as quickly as possible so that we're not in the way, but also not sitting waiting on the bulls coming in, if that makes sense.
They've got a very leaned out process if you can do that many that quickly.
Lovely. In case I need the toilet.
And I can feel
Always a smart plan to carry with you.
the sun on my skin.
That one had a hurt front foot. I saw him walking.
Beginning to thaw from within.
Proper farmer.
Today and not tomorrow. There's no time to borrow. Today is a good day to live.
Can't see anything immediately obvious. Brett said he was fine and then went lame all of a sudden. Oh, boy, stop!
Bulls like this big guy in the crush are absolutely colossal and weigh well in excess of a ton or 2,200 pounds. But having said all of that, they can
Can you imagine someone used to have to do this without this machine? Talk about a dangerous job. This really makes it a hell of a lot more safe to do what they gotta do.
still be incredibly soft
For them
when it
and
comes
the
to
animal.
hurting themselves. My worry with this guy is that it's not his foot that's hurting at all, and that actually it's his leg further up from his foot that is causing him all of the pain and discomfort. Having said all of that though, that outer claw is slightly overgrown, so while he's in the crush, I take every opportunity to hopefully find a problem and prove myself wrong. Unfortunately, a problem is not becoming obvious, so I'm hoping these hoof testers give us a clue.
Bubbles are from the water, it's in, not from anything else.
Kev's right, it is soft there, and he appeared to react when I applied pressure. I'm going to carve away parts
This
of
is
this
the part
white
where it
line
looks like it hurts, but remember they're bringing release,
and
not
hopefully
pain.
uncover
Makes my
the
palms
source
sweat.
of the issue. Unfortunately, my fear seems to be becoming a reality.
I'm not finding anything.
It would appear that the first reaction was not a reaction at all, and actually just a coincidence that he moved as I applied the pressure. Unfortunately, we can't do anything to help this bull, but the farmer can, and applies a huge dose of anti-inflammatories to help with the pain and promote this big guy's healing. All we can do for him really is cross our fingers and move on to
Poor
the next
guy,
cow.
poor fella.
Now this cow has an incredibly sore front right foot and actually doesn't even want to touch the ground with it. I'm praying I can do something about it. The problem immediately seems very obvious, but with this one, I make a little bit of a false start. Out of all of the farms that I visit, these cows are probably in the shed least of all, so it just goes to show that cows leading a very natural lifestyle can still become incredibly lame because of the hazards they face just walking around.
So this guy's got a growth of tyloma up in here and it's got dermatitis all over it. So we need to space this out as much as possible to give it room to be squished and not catch on the side of our feet. We will put a block on it, Kevin. A big one actually. Big one. We're going to put a block on here because this is localised to this foot. Only slightly, but it is localised. It's so hard.
There is very clearly a growth for us all to see in between our feet, but believe it or not, that is definitely not the root of our problems, as we're all just about to find out.
Soak the life out of the iodine. We'll put a wee wrap on it to try and sink it up a bit, but the wrap will fall. Oh yeah. Excuse my French. Glad I washed it out. It's a stone. And that's been in there a long time. You're alright.
Calm down, it's almost over.
Can I get it? I don't know if it could do much
Mother
going
of
to
God, it's got to hurt. Can you imagine how much pain the animal's been in up to this point? I can't even imagine not being able to take care of my own wound.
I can't get I'm really struggling to get that out.
I don't want to push my knife in too far, which is why I'm struggling to remove the stone.
Come on now.
What's that?
That's a massive stone.
Feel better for that.
Yeah.
You'll need to excuse my French and the chicken noises.
Better.
I'm just really frustrated that something can cause this cow so much pain so easily. The area is clearly inflamed because of raging infection, which is why we're using this antibiotical spray that the farmer has given us. It should help to reduce the swelling and fight infection, and hopefully put this cow on the road to recovery. But this is an incredibly sore problem.
Yeah, it'll be even a lot better tomorrow. God,
this next build,
I can't imagine walking around with a stone stuck in
Bill's
my
shoulders are so
being
wide and
unable to get
muscular
it
that he
out.
won't fit
God
up the
bless
race
these
properly, so we're
people.
actually putting him through the pen with the little lambs and back up this way. So pray for us.
There we go.
These bulls trim down and lose a lot of weight over the breeding season because of the amount of calories they're burning. Right now though, he is in full form, and he is an absolute tank.
So we've decided he's too wide to fit.
Jesus, that is a massively wide.
We're going to move this one. After all this is where I end up missing him probably. Here we go.
This potentially could be a risky situation. We're not using a race because he can't fit. We're at the mercy of whatever he decides to do.
Really struggling, and obviously we failed to get a bull in a couple of weeks ago. Praying that doesn't happen again.
Look at this monster.
Finally, he decides to go, and I do catch him. All that remains now is to get him up in the air once he's settled down so that we can look at that back.
That's a strong ass machine, man.
Right foot.
To be able to just hoist that behemoth off the ground.
And hopefully make
Thank
a
God
difference.
for technology.
Where are you pointing here? To the hole. I know, we're okay. I thought we had a problem in there. Get a big rock, please, Ken.
I'm regularly asked if I treat bulls' feet any differently to cows' feet, and the short and simple answer is no. But in reality, there are very small differences. A bull's foot is obviously slightly larger than a cow's foot, but also a bull is incredibly heavy compared to a cow, so we need to leave as much of the hoof horn intact and in position as we possibly can, so that his weight can be spread over a larger area.
See, something like that, something that the rest of us just don't even think about. I've never ever thought about an animal's feet until recently, and it's been thanks to videos online. Like, it's very interesting to see anybody out there do any job, but to see them do a job where you get to see an animal walk away so much more comfortable, like, it's so heartwarming.
This big bull was incredibly lame around a week ago when the farmer treated him at first with antibiotics and anti-inflammatories. That has worked absolute wonders, but in its wake it has left a double soul, a place that dirt and debris can collect. It can congregate and begin to form even greater problems, which is why even though the bull is starting to walk slightly better, it is absolutely crucial to his full recovery that we remove these detached layers of hoof horn. It's just like peeling an onion. The only trick is knowing when to stop.
You treated him with Loxicon too? or something. He'll have had an infection and that will clear it up. That's why this is a double sole and not just swollen inside.
Right, so effectively the double sole comes off the point.
Exactly. But then that double sole needs removed, otherwise it just fills up with muck and stones and...
Muck and stones and chicken shit. That's what that was. I love it.
Okay.
He's starting to raise his voice and protest. This isn't hurting him. It will be slightly uncomfortable, but he's more frustrated at the fact that he's being restrained in my crush right now.
Yeah, you didn't want to be in there in the first place.
Of two evils. With trims like this, the very real temptation is to say mission complete, we've taken enough away. It's sore in your arms, it's tedious, but we need to remove all of this detached hoof horn if we are to do our job properly.
Yes and no. So yes, it would, but it'd be getting worse underneath it at the same time. Does that make sense? So yeah, that would. I like see how soft. So that just needs a month, and that'll thicken up by 5 or 6 millimeters, and then you're fine, kind of thing.
It's been a very long but a very productive day here in southwest Scotland for us, trimming these beautiful creatures and working with the wonderful people who live around us. But for us and for this big bull, it's time for us to say goodbye and head on home.
I didn't want it to be over. I love the animals. I love that they care for the animals, that they're trying to be out there and they're doing healing things. Can you imagine if nobody was there to help you, if you couldn't do it yourself? What would you do? To just go into an abscess and get infected and you die? It's horrible. And not to mention the pain or relief here. I thoroughly enjoy it, and I appreciate the opportunity to react. Get over, show the Hoof GP all the love in the world. I really do. I just appreciate these kind of videos. It's heartwarming. It might be disgusting to some folks, but it really is heartwarming to just see the overall amount of love and heart that goes into it. There's things here that we can't see. There's smells. There's all kinds of things that we don't know on this end that go into it. I'm sure that we're going to learn some more along the way. We know that they don't put the animal in any kind of pain, even though it seems very painful to us. That damn rock, that gave the animal some pain. Smash the like button if you liked it, the dislike button, but I won't believe you. Till the next one, I'm either Combustible. You guys be happy, healthy, safe. I love you to the moon and back. Peace.